Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to some Kill Team. We've never played Kill Team. I've looked and looked and looked as far as how you're supposed to play it, and it doesn't make the most sense to me, but there also seems to be multiple different ways you can play Kill Team, uh, and it is confusing. The starter book that comes in the uh, starter starter box with the Angels of Death and the Plague Marines, it's almost feels like less of a starting point and more of like a how do you do the absolute basics. But even the way I feel like they present that in this is kind of confusing to me. um so we're probably going to get a whole lot of stuff wrong, and that is fine. um is something yep. Okay. So we're gonna play kind of as base starting version as we can. And that's just basically the scenario from the very end of this book. Where is she? Which is this. Granted, is this what I was picking? I guess this is what I was picking. But I set it up. Okay, well, this is set up in a certain way, but I definitely rotated it slightly. Because I guess the points. But whatever. So we'll deploy in these corners instead of these corners. We're not going to use equipment or anything like that, which I can't tell if that's all for like the approved ops matched play stuff or something else. I have no idea. But we're just going to play basically with the models in their most basic form and play on these objectives. And that's what I guess we're going to do. So, choose one of the objective markers controlled by your operative. This is now secured by your team. This means that even if you move away from the objective, it'll still score you points. The objective remains secured by your kill team unless the enemy kill team secures the objective in a later turn. But we can't secure stuff in the first round. You cannot perform this action in the first turning point or while within control range of an enemy operative. So that's kind of confusing. So I get the first round, but while within control range of an enemy operative. So like if me and you both get here, what, nobody gets secure it until you kill the people off of it, I guess?
No contesting.
An opponent has activated an operative, they still... And wait. After your opponent has activated an operative, they still have ready operatives, but you do not. You can counteract with one of your operatives. When an operative counteracts, they can perform an action that costs 1 AP. If they use this to move in any way, they can only move 2 inches. So I guess if you kill all of my guys and you've still got 3 dudes and I've got 1 dude, I guess I could still do like a little baby action with one of my guys, even though they've already gone. So that's cool. And I think... I'm not sure exactly how we're going to score this, but I think we might as well just do like 1 victory point at the end of each round for each objective we have, and then 1 point per kill, I guess, because it doesn't really state that. And to be fair, that it... Oh, well, hold on. Receive 1 victory point every time they kill an enemy operative. Players receive 1 victory point at the end of the game if they have slain more than their opponent. Players receive 1 victory point at the end of every turning point after the first if they have secured any objectives. And you get 1 victory point at the end of every round after the first if they have secured more objectives. I guess it's just as valuable to play the outsides or whatever, because So it's 1 point for all, and if you have 2 and I have 1, you would get an extra point on top of the 2, I guess. Which seems like it kind of creates a runaway system, if I'm being honest.
But I was thinking about the kill tally. You killed more people, you get more victory points. Like,
yeah, and if you've killed more, you also get another extra victory point. It's like, okay, they're dead. Just leave them dead already.
what about crap. Respawn limits.
I don't think there's any in this. There's something about a co-op mode in the rulebook, which I don't have, which is why we're not doing it. But they do have narrative missions and stuff, so that could be kind of cool. And I think those might have respawn limits, but I don't know. So all of your people, when you deploy them, will have a conceal order. So you have like a grayed out version that shows that they've activated that round, kind of like Legion, kind of. And if you're in cover with a conceal order, you cannot be shot. Operative within 1 inch of cover terrain that the target line crosses. Retain 1 normal save against shoot if you're in cover. But you can't shoot or charge or do anything. So you're concealed. You're basically lighting it safe.
And if you're further than an inch away, you're obscured.
And then once you decide you want to start like shooting and fighting, then you would change to a engaged order, which makes you a free target no matter where you're standing, I guess. That is also something I'm kind of unsure of, but at this point I just wanted to try to play it, and maybe that might make more sense. I wonder if this TV literally just died. It doesn't even have a light anymore.
Something clicked.
Yeah, I guess so. It sounded like the actual TV. I guess the TV literally just perished right in front of our eyes.
Well, either that or the breaker tripped.
No, more stuff in here would have gone off, I think. Yeah. Give me this. I wouldn't go messing with any of that, because give us this here.
Well, to be fair, this TV is like 12 years old.
Yeah. To be fair, I need to get a new one anyways, because that one, I think, is only 720, and I'm blind enough as it is. It's hard to see stuff. Okay. Well, I guess that solves my weird TV problem to a certain extent. I think initiative is rolled at the start of every round. And whoever rolls the highest goes first. So I don't think it matters actually who, like, the activation sequence. It's just whoever rolls highest goes first for that round. So I guess you could potentially go first multiple times.
And if we're losing all those.
Okay. So I think we deploy thirds of our people, which the deployment area is from the board crease, and it's half a rectangle. So you're to this board crease in half a thing. I don't know anything about any of this.
You know what really sucks about my deployment zone?
You could also plot people on the side of the wall too. And if you want, push that a little bit, you have more space. It doesn't matter to me, because to be fair, I was mainly looking at where the objectives were.
Well, I was sitting there looking at that, and this is literally a right angle right there. It's like, okay, well, I've got a room.
Yeah. Also, I went with the heavy gunner for my team, and you're not using the flail guy?
Marine fighter, yeah.
Marine fighter. So this is just the stuff that comes in the starter box. This is the Angels of Death and the Plague Marines. All right, so you get to plop out 2 of your dudes.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to end up deploying all of my guys at the top end of this, because objective.
Yeah, you could also, I mean, it's Yeah, you could kind of deploy like right along that wall. Yeah, we both kind of have, I guess, 2 direction points to go with. We can climb, and from basically everything I could tell is you measure your climbing distance up. So like I've got a 7-inch move. If I was standing at the bottom of this, well, that's 6 inches, and you can't go past your move, so I probably couldn't climb up that because it would have me like whatever. But like here, this is what, 2.5 inches, so you know you could just freely move up over that. There is some weird stuff with climbing. I'm not even, it just confused me, so I'm just taking it in its most basic looking type of thing, which is just measuring up and over.
All of my moves are 5. Every single one of them.
God, if I just start right here, you're looking right at me. I don't want. Although I guess as long as I'm concealed to some capacity.
That's strange.
Your turn.
Hi, babe.
Yes.
Yes. Are you there?
Unmute. That's exactly why I have a mute button on this. That'll mute our things. It was more for when I needed to sneeze. But
Guess whatever works.
I just got my lead guy left.
Oh, right. They all need tokens, huh?
Oh, wait.
We just put them on here?
Oh, I've still got this guy. I just find it I think it's going to be easier for us to keep track of who has it, so you know who you can shoot and who you can't, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only set out 5.
I only got 5 of these tokens, but I think I only have 5 people. Or do I have 6?
You should have, because you're just not using that. So yeah, 2, 2, 2. Also only gave me 5.
I think these guys look like they belong in Battle for Azeroth.
I really liked that model. He was the last one I painted, and he just didn't do it for me when I finished him. Okay. I really actually love the way these guys all came out. They look really gross. And that guy's got maggots all over him. It's really gross. Okay. I guess initiative. So, since those other dice that I bought feel really weird, I'm just using the little baby dice that come with it. All right, you're going first. So, you have on your card, they have APL. That's the amount of actions that they can do. And then that has the actions and what they cost.
The retreat costs 2 and everything else is 1.
But you can't do any of them twice. Bless you.
Also really throwing me off is that they all have 5-inch moves, and I've got a 6-inch stick, and then a 1, a 3, and a 2.
Yeah. I set that over there. If you want to use this, you can just use that. The actual sculpted tools, like the measuring tool, has little notches, like 1-inch notches on it, which would make perfect sense. I don't know why they didn't just print that on the like cheap version.
So I have 3 points.
Also, there's something talking about the whole conceal things. I think there's something with vantage points, and I think there's a height limit. Basically, we're just going to call it the 2 tallest points here. If you're up there, you could shoot people with conceal orders, even if they're concealed, because you have a vantage point. The idea.
I feel like that guy is. Can that guy be shot, or is he close enough to that wall that it counts as cover?
Well, I think he's still obscured by this. I don't know how that works. To be completely honest, that is what.
Well, this is what I was
Because this
looking
just
at.
says can't be shot. Can't be shot in cover, but then under this it says cover/obscured. So, like, do you have to be in cover to not be shot, or does it also count obscured?
Within 1 inch of cover terrain that the target line crosses.
I mean,
Greater than 2 inches from the shooter. Obscured is greater than 1 inch from target line point, and enemy is further than 1 inch from it.
I don't see why not, but you're also concealed, so you can't shoot or do anything either.
No, I'm just trying to.
I think this dude would probably be a fair target. Yeah, y'all can kind of see that. But again, I've read and watched so much stuff, and it has kind of confused me.
So. That was a move.
And I think basically at the start of your turn, you can change if you want to conceal or an engage order, but I don't think we can start doing that until the second round. I think we have to stay in conceal for the first round, I think. There's a part in here that
I don't think there's anything else I can do. Most of this is movement stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be probably a lot of move dashing for the first round.
Yeah. Then I guess I will dash next to this thing. Guess I'll end his turn.
Okay. Um. Six inch. Sniper moves 7. So it looks like most of my guys move 6, except for the heavy guy. He's a slow chunker. Yes. Oh, dash, by the way, is always 3 inches.
Yeah. I read that on the.
Well, that looks like 4-ish inches. And dash. Your turn. I think basically everybody in this starter box has 3 APL, but there are some teams, I guess, that only have 2.
So, does movement. Would I have to climb over something like this?
Yeah, you just still measure it the same, I think, so call it an inch. I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, then I guess I'm just going to dash here. And then move my 5. There.
Trying to find anything that talks about that, but
Icon bearer, old pistol, and blade knife.
you just move dash.
Dash move. I dashed behind this thing, so I didn't have to use any of my movement
Yeah.
stuff to get there.
Gonna move this dude. Do nothing else. Yeah, might help if I change that chainsaw guy. Which I will say, I'm sick and tired of painting this color scheme on these Space Marines. I had to freehand all these little crosses. They make transfer sheets, but also the type of cross that I was painting was more like almost more like medieval in style. Feels more like Knights of the Round Table type of cross versus like the Black Templar cross, which was like a shortened, like fatter cross. I like that style, I guess. And it's also supposed to be black and white, and these are like gray and tan, but I thought it looked better.
I thought they were blue.
It is kind of a blue-gray, but it's just something so you could actually see the detail on the armor and them not just be like a shape. So the captain, I'm not even gonna bother looking at what any of these keywords are until we're crossing that bridge. So I don't know where exactly this guy even wants to live because he rolls 1 extra dice with his power fist. Oh, well, he's got shock assault, so I could, I guess, fight twice. And then most of our other dudes can shoot twice, I think.
Well, that's hysterical.
What?
Aside from my lead guy, the guy that I chose not to use is the only other one that has shock assault. But this guy can do 2 shoot activations.
We'll just...
And so can this guy. The purpose is to determine control of markers. Treat this operative's APL status 1 higher. 2 shoot actions. So 3 of my characters can do 2 shoot actions.
I think we're just gonna scooch the Capitan up as well, because I don't really know where to go.
So is this passable here?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So then
It's like
other side of the
right
wall,
here in the like a little cubby.
Best move is gonna be.
I was trying to put them actually around walls and stuff because it's such a small play area. I think this also has doors, so like you can move through this door, sure.
Oh.
This does have like door logic.
Your turn.
Curious if you fight twice because of the way fighting works, like I roll 5 dice with my thing, you would look at whoever you're fighting and roll however many dice you would roll for your attack on your thing, and then we do the like system. But it seems like it's just as much a detriment to my guy to fight you twice as it would be to fight you once because of the way that the fighting works. Surely the second fight doesn't go unanswered because of the way that the parrying works, but
I don't even know what you're talking about.
yeah. We're just gonna do a little, lose a little bit of distance, but whatever. Okay. Oh, well, I guess we could dash too still. Move dash. Turn on some. Oh, no, we can't. Speakers should hide. Still got 2 fellas. I think. out here.
Oh, I went first.
Yeah, we both got what, one guy left?
Yeah. I thought you went first. I was like, how do you have one more than I do? All right.
Oh, well, that's kind of a good point. This says that if you're in combat with two enemies, one being weaker than the other, you could, I guess, fight two different people. So it's more situational, not that you have to obviously fight twice. Let's see, that's like 2, 3. Oh, I don't know what this is gonna do, but we'll just put him up here. Might be a death sentence, but it looks interesting. All right, so that's everybody.
Yes.
Okay, I want my oh, get that little round. Just use the Legion round counter. We don't have to. Okay. So now we're going into the second round. So now we could start swapping our dudes into engage orders out of conceal orders, which, given this setup, we're probably going to be doing. I don't see who's going to be staying concealed. And we'll probably have to start looking at some stuff. So, initiative roll. What's the round limit? Ooh, 6. 4. Oh, okay. Oh. That's funny. Okay. Let's see. What is charge? You get a +2 to your move value. Well, charge you.
So, doing charge would basically be a move plus an extra 2 inches, so it would cost you 2 of your actions.
No. I think charge is basically you get 2 extra inches, but you have to finish within control range of an enemy, which is basically an inch to fight them. So it's basically you moving into combat. So if you could, like, I can't charge like this just to get 2 extra move inches. You have to basically charge into someone.
But I guess my question is, does that not cost an extra action point?
No, just 1 extra action or one AP to charge. Like in Rogue Trader, we're using our charge just to move. Did you get that extra movement? I guess you can't do that here. I guess we'll swap to our engage order. And I guess charge.
But if I'm still got a conceal order, it says you can't shoot or charge.
But you're not in cover from me. You're just out in the open.
But is it the order that makes the difference?
No, I think you basically, to get the benefits of the conceal, you have to be in cover. This is just phrasing, I think. I was trying to find in this book where it states that kind of stuff to see if it was worded any better, but it's pretty terribly phrased. Granted, I think there might be in here somewhere else. I feel like I went, oh, they finally decided to describe what this does 40-something pages in. But when one of your operatives has a conceal order, they cannot be targeted by enemies while they are in cover. So, yeah. However, they can't charge, shoot, or counteract. give operatives a conceal order when you want to keep them safe. So I guess if you were going to like sneak around the outskirts, even if somebody could see you, you're concealed. Oh god, now we have to figure out how this works. Chainsword, 5 dice, hitting on a 3-up. There's a split number that is your regular hits and your critical hits. So critical hits are on 6, unless there's some things that say otherwise. I don't have any keywords for the chainsword. So
crits are a 6?
Yeah. Unless there's some keywords that'll, like I think lethal 5-up, I think is crits on a 5 instead of a 6. So you'll get whatever your melee dice is for your champion guy. And I'm looking for 3-ups. So got a crit and 2 hits, and now you roll your
This has disgustingly resilient whenever an attack dice inflicts damage on this operative, including as a result of a devastating weapon roll. Roll 1 die on a 5+, subtract 1 from the damage inflicted to a minimum of 2. So I guess if you do anything more than 2 damage, I can pull it down to 2.
I don't know. That makes sense to me in a shooting action. I don't understand that in a fighting action, which I'll show you in just a second. Severe, ever. If you don't retain any crit, can change 1 normal as crit. So I guess you could just upgrade one of your regular hits to a crit if you don't get a crit. So roll your 5 dice. You're actually probably...
I'm confused.
What?
Am I counterattacking?
Yeah, so we're fighting simultaneously, usually. So you're rolling your 5 dice for your plague sword. And you're hitting on a what? 3-up?
Yeah.
So you got a crit and some hits.
3 hits.
And that wording, it sounds like if you don't get any crits, you can... Basically, you're always guaranteed to have a crit, but you rolled a crit, so I don't think that changes anything. So, now, starting with me, we decide what we want to do with these. So, basically, like, 1 hit, let's see. And this is where I feel like there's a lot of, like, specifics to how you could mental math this really quick to get the best out of it. I just don't know. Basically, starting with me, I'll decide do I want this to do damage or do I want this to block? So I could decide to block your crit with my crit, or you could block a crit with 2 regular hits. So like I could just block your crit with these 2 regulars. Or you decide if you want them to do damage. And not really a good way to decide how to do that either. But I guess just because I feel like I'm probably going to come out of this a whole lot worse. We'll just decide to have this crit go ahead and do damage, which is 5 damage. And now it's you do something. So you decide if you want any of these regular hits to cancel and basically parry mine, or if you want your crit to go ahead and do damage, or if you want, whatever. That makes sense. We're basically just deciding, are you going to fight or defend with your dice?
Is it 1 die at a time?
Yeah. Unless you're, like, if I was going to block your crit, I could have just used my 2 regulars to block your crit.
I guess I'll use one of these to save one of yours.
Okay. And you're probably should have blocked your crit, because I think your crit does all.
Same as anybody else's.
Got 14 wounds. I'm probably coming out of this pretty rough. How many wounds you got?
15.
Oh. We're just gonna block. So those are just gonna go to damage pool.
There should be 10 total damage.
Okay. 10 damage on me. 5 on you, except for your weird keyword, which I don't understand exactly, but I would assume
Basically,
that
if I rolled a 5 or above, it subtracted 1. Roll again, or you roll 1,
Well,
and if it's 5 or above, subtract 1 damage.
so on a 5-up, you just get rid of a damage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And because this dude's probably dead as shit, we might as well do it again. Because I can fight twice. And I still have 1 APL because I charged, fought, and we'll use my last
Now, my
one to fight.
responding to you, does that take my action points?
I don't think so. And that's part of what I was trying to look up, is how the like countering fighting works. I would assume that if you wanted to fight me on your activation, we would just go through this again, which like melee is deadly because there's a good chance I'm probably gonna die before this is over with. I've only got 4 wounds left. No crits, but we do have 4 hits. You have got 4 hits also. And you didn't get a crit, so I think one of yours would change to a crit with your severe.
Basically the same attack as I had last time.
Yeah, and mine's not. I was hoping to have a better roll, and you have a worse roll to make this. Okay, so I need to do all the damage to you. I don't see that happening. Yikes.
Now, if you can use 2 regular rolls to block a crit, can you use a crit to block 2 regular rolls?
No, not that I've seen.
That's retarded.
Well, shoot.
This is gonna be one of those things where, like, when somebody dies,
Aw.
they're out for the rest of the round and they respawn at the beginning of the next?
No, they're just dead.
Oh, so there is no respawn?
No.
Oh.
Well, I have to cancel your crit because if you use it, I'm gonna die. So, because I've only got 4 wounds left. I guess this is fair. I am just a regular little fella, and I just attacked your champion, dude. But to be fair, this is the first fighting we've done, so I guess.
I am going to use this to block.
Damage you do?
4 on a regular.
Son of a. Well, it doesn't matter then, I'm dead. So we're just going to go ahead and do some damage because I can't block enough to stop you from killing me anyways. So you got 4. And then I guess on your 5-up, you'll save. And then that's like a bajillion more damage. This dude's dead as hell.
5.
That sucks. This is the guy I was looking forward to using the most because he's got a chainsword.
You did use him.
Yeah, kind of.
So now it's my turn, and I guess this guy does not have this token anymore.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, technically. I guess you could keep the same.
The range I was expecting. I don't have anybody that's like long range.
From what I could tell, is all of the pistols are like 8 inches, and then everything else is unlimited. But your dude's got a pistol, and he's a little short range guy.
Definitely not unlimited.
Your heavy guy's probably unlimited, although unless he's
Grenades
supposed
are
to...
6 inches. This guy's pistol is 8 inches. This guy's got something called entropy. Staff attack of some kind, I guess it's 7 inches. Everybody on here with a gun, with the exception of my Marine Warrior, has a range limitation.
I guess that kind of makes sense because they want to spread like yuck. So they want to get up on you and infect you.
So 5 inches. Then dash.
Fighting my poor little fella.
Yeah.
Oh, his staff's got like a little goo guy like shoved into the top of it.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. The flail guy, part of his flail
Yeah, he's got a.
is the same thing. Little
I don't.
fat eyeball guy with a tongue.
I don't like the way I painted any of those, but
Maybe I.
whatever.
So that guy is the icon bearer. So if I use my plague knife, he also has severe. So I roll 5 dice and I'm looking for 3 or above again. Ooh, boy. Sorry.
Big yikes. The regular warrior, I believe. I got fists with no keywords. I'm looking for 3s. Big sad. Big sad. Okay, well, this is unfortunate for me. I don't know if I make it out of this at all. Because you do, what's that do for damage?
3 and 5.
So what is that? 5, 11.
They all have that keyword. Disgustingly resilient.
To block a crit with my 2 regular. Oh, well, you go first. Not that it matters, because I would imagine that.
It could.
Well, yeah, it could. Getting my ass beat in the fights. And now it doesn't matter at all. I might as well just do damage to you, because he's probably dead anyways. Because you've got what? I can't cancel a crit. You've got 5, 10. What is it? 3, 5?
Yeah. 13 damage.
No, I guess he's not dead. He's got 14. And if I canceled the 1 regular save, that would leave me with what? 4?
Yes.
That seems better than... it doesn't matter. I'll just do some damage.
You sure?
Yeah. Because no matter how you slice it, when I go with him, I'm probably fighting and he's gonna die in that
Maybe.
next turn.
You never know. I might roll. I probably just spent all of my RNG for this entire match right there. 2 crits in 1 roll? Yeah, not good.
Yeah, but 4... Well, no, because it doesn't matter. You're guaranteed 1 crit. So even if he has 4 wounds
But
left...
depending on what you roll, you could cancel it.
Good. Whatever, we're living on the...
So you're doing damage, and that's what, 4?
3.
3?
Enjoy. And then I'm taking, what, 10, 13?
Yes.
Bad.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this icon and give this one.
Although... I want to know if control range refers to control range of enemies or control range of objectives. Because if I wanted to take this dude and fall back for 2 AP, could I move over here because you're not in control range of this? to take that objective. And does cost 1 to secure the objectives. I couldn't move and shoot because it just says control range, and I don't know exactly if that means objectives or people. I would assume that means you can't fall back into control range of another enemy. That's what it's trying to say, but I don't know. Let's... You know what? I'm gonna... How does this work?
How are we counting victory points?
Kills. Use
those tokens. I'm not looking for, but they're cool.
This was a mistake putting all of the Legion dice that I have in this bag.
I've got 1.
Okay. So move up to move distance. So the distance doesn't matter. Well, might as well swap this little fella. Just gonna run away. And I'm not gonna capture that objective with my last action point. I think I'm gonna shoot you right in your face. 4 dice, torrent 1. Select primary and any valid targets in primary and do shoot against them. That's torrent 1 inch, so I guess you have a little bit of like spray if there was multiple people within an inch of your guy. So I've got the same sad little attack that I just rolled. And if it ends up being fun, I'll probably buy from Baron of Dice. They've got Black Templar dice, and they're nice. And I like squared dice better than the rounded dice, I think. 4, 3 up, literally the exact same profile. Okay. And then you roll 3 defense dice at all times, unless otherwise stated by keywords or something.
So the counterattacking one happens in melee?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is part of what I thought was so cool, that like it's literally like you're both actively, and then your saves are at the top of that thing. By
3+. So I've got 1 save.
Okay. So that's a crit and a hit for 7. Yeah, 3, 4. So 4 for the crit, 3 for the regular.
So that puts me at 10. Oh, wait. I got to roll. -1. So I'm at
6.
9.
And gone. Oh, I never flipped all mine back over from the last thing.
Are we in round 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we can start scoring and all that kind of stuff.
So it's my turn?
Yes.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do a plasma pistol supercharge on that guy. Can I?
No.
Hmm.
Because the bases are still obscured. You could dash and shoot him. Just have to get him out in the open.
Okay. So we're going to dash. And then I'm going to shoot him. Well, within 8 inches. Hot, piercing 1, and severe. hot, piercing 1, and
Roll
severe.
d6 for action. If less than hit, do damage. Roll to. I don't understand what that means. I'll look at this explanation. You said hot and what?
Severe, or piercing 1.
Piercing. Target uses X less defense dice. So I'll use.
What the heck does that hot description even mean?
Yeah, I'm going to check what it actually says in this book and see what it. Some weapons, such as plasma pistol, are prone to overheating and can be dangerous to the wielders. After an operative has used this weapon, roll a d6. If the result is less than the weapon's hit stat, the operative takes damage equal to the dice roll multiplied by 2.
Then I'm not using that attack. Guess the trade-off is getting severe.
Yeah, because you're rolling, what, a 3 up? So if you roll a 1 or a 2, you take that damage multiplied by 2. So you could take up to 4 damage, I guess.
Okay, then I am just going to do the regular standard attack. Same amount of dice, same hits. The only difference is no severe, and it's a 4-6 instead of a 5-6.
No severe, really?
Nope.
So you've got, what?
Piercing 1.
They have lethal on it?
No.
That's just the supercharged version?
No, that's just the standard version. Supercharge is hot, piercing, and severe.
That's what I was saying. I thought you were saying it had all the same stuff. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. What the hell's the point of that?
No. It just doesn't have severe or
So
hot.
you lose some of the keywords. Okay.
And I'm looking for 3s.
Yuck. You say the version does have piercing or doesn't?
It does.
Rolling 2 on this.
So
guy.
piercing decreases how many dice in defense you get to roll?
Yeah.
Ah.
Although there's piercing crits, which same as piercing, but only if you get crits. So if you crit, then they get less dice. I'm looking for 3s. Okay. So I guess
Which is a grand total of 10 damage.
Ow. Jesus.
And for my last action, I guess I'll pick up the objective. I don't really know how that works.
Yeah, it's just one. Oh, I turned the page. It's one action point to secure it.
Do I have to flip it, put a token on it?
Probably wouldn't hurt to put a token on it, just so we know. These tokens are, but they could be used for such things.
Guess the red one will be mine. Blue matches your color scheme.
They're Black Templar. Dare you?
If you say so.
So why would you ever want to fight? Fight seems like a terrible decision.
Some characters have to.
Well, yeah, some have to, but like this guy, he has a pretty good power fist roll, but like, I guess it only makes sense to fight like low level guys. Like I wouldn't ever want to fight your champion guy, I guess.
I think it depends.
Well, to be fair, this is also probably 2 kill teams in the starter box that are supposed to be pretty similar. So if like there might be like the little Astra Militarum dudes, where you could probably just fight and smash them to death. Because they're
Or Tyranids.
Yeah. I think they just now finally came out with a Tyranid kill team.
Which most of them are melee anyway.
I'm gonna go, I think, with the heavy guy. And he's got what? 4-inch move. So that's like here. So I'm going to move, shoot, and claim. And I'm going to shoot your dude right in his face. With the focused version, piercing crits 1. So if I get a crit, you'll have less stuff. And I've got 5 hits on 3 up. Oh. So you get 2 defense dice. Probably what, a 3-up for your saves on your icon bearer guy.
Yes.
So 2 regulars. That is 8 damage.
7 damage. Dead.
Yay! I get a point. Okay. And my little guy lives to see another day. Your turn. You know what's funny is I was looking for this. If you have the heavy keyword, you can't move in the same activation as which you shoot, which I figured this guy would have, but only the executioner variant of the sniper rifle has heavy. Oh no, how much damage does this guy have? 10?
So, this dude, his attack doesn't have a range, but then it says torrent 2 inches. So does that mean that if anything is within 2 inches,
Yeah.
but the range is unlimited?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it threw me off because one of the first guys that I was like just kind of eyeballing stuff with when I brought everything down here to like run like a mock shoot and defend roll just to kind of get a better idea of how it works. The first thing that I checked, the dude didn't have a range. I'm like, well, how far can I shoot? This doesn't make any sense. Because I didn't see range anywhere. I ended up having to look it up.
Okay, well, I'm going to hit that guy with Plague Wind then, with this guy.
Only I was higher.
He rolls with 6 dice, looking for 3 ups, and it's got Saturate and Severe. Saturate. Defender can't retain cover saves.
Cover anyways.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think I'm high enough. Basically, if I didn't have a conceal order and you're in cover, you get some stuff, I guess. But if I was in cover, you wouldn't be able to shoot me anyways. But I think there's a certain height that needs to be taken into account for elevation before you're like in cover or whatever.
Not using him to his maximum potential, though. Because I can shoot with both of my weapons, and if I had actually moved him to like here, I could have finished off that guy and shot that guy, but I'm dumb.
I don't know if the whole like decisioning part of like what I want to block or not happens, which is why I'm just running it like 1 for 1. You got a crit and a regular.
5 damage.
Really?
Yeah.
For a crit and a regular?
2, 3.
No, God.
Which is why there's 6 dice.
Oh, okay. So you've shot.
Yeah. Actually, since I have 3 actions, I could technically move him up and still shoot.
Well, you just shot.
And shoot twice. Well,
Oh.
I just can't use the same weapon twice.
Okay.
He's too far out to use my second. But he is visible according to the keep.
That's the bases, not the people.
I mean, I can see the base outside of it.
Yeah, but he's obscured this. You could see he is still in the cover based on the bases.
I think you're making stuff up.
I'm not. That's why, like in Legion, people print silhouettes that back up these, and if you can't see, or if, whatever. Like in this case, you could see him to shoot at him, if he didn't have a conceal order, but because he's concealed and in cover, technically, you can't shoot at him. So it's not that you can't shoot at him, it's just because he has the conceal order that you can't shoot at him.
Well, then I'm just going to end right there, because if I go in any direction with a dash, it's going to take the rest of my, unless I charged. But that would put me in melee range, but I couldn't melee him, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll just stay.
Ooh, that's a terrible idea. I was like, well, I could climb over this, I think, but I would plop me like right on the other side with nowhere to go. And then he's just out there. I don't want to be out there. Guy has 8 inches, which would get me there. What's your melee on that guy? A-hole?
3-5, severe shock stun.
That doesn't sound good.
The shock and the stun require me to get crits.
I mean, potentially, I think he might be a little bit better, but you know what? Why not? So, a charge would be 6 plus 2, which is enough to get there. Okay. So Power Fist has brutal. Opponent can only block with crits. Okay, so that actually makes his Power Fist much better. But see, that's you can only block with crits, but does that mean that like a crit is like a regular? I mean, maybe that doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things, but I've got 5 hitting on 3s. Bad. So you can only block with crits. Although, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, I guess you can only do damage with your regulars. You can't block with your regulars. You can only block with your crits. Keep forgetting to think in terms of the whole parrying, attacking thing. So 4. So you can block with crits. But I guess I go first in this exchange because I charged you. I don't like it. I'm not good enough at like math to make this make sense. And I don't have any crits, which is sad. Shit, I don't know. I hate this. I feel like every time we've done this, I've been on like the lower end, and I'm trying to like overcomplicate how to make this as the least shitty as possible. You got what? 14. You know what? We'll do some damage. Why not? That's 5.
So far?
Yeah. I'm going to block. What's your melee?
3-5.
That's like a lot. I guess I have to block something because that's what 5, 8.
And with a crit, shock and stun are active, which kind of is irrelevant. subtract 1 attack point of target until the end of its next activation.
The next activation. Okay.
And then shock, first crit strike in each sequence. Also discard 1 OP unresolved normal.
I think that. Let's see what it says in here, because the only time I've seen ops being referred to is in a fight. The first time an operative with this weapon strikes using a crit. First time an operative in the opponent must discard one of their normal successes or a critical success if they have no normal successes. In a fight, the first time an operative with this weapon strikes using... Okay, so if you had used that to do damage to start with, it would have dealt damage and got rid of one of my hits or whatever.
Bummer. And then I need to roll to see what overall damage I get. Same.
And we're just going to use this mark -1 APL for my next thing. And because I make poor choices, I might as well attack you with my last thing again and hope for a better outcome. Because he can fight twice. And I've got 1 more APL. 3, 5, 3s. Even worse! Jesus! All right! Get away. All right, so what is that? 10 damage?
Dead.
Sweet.
Wait. Dead.
Awesome! Glad you rolled worse than I did. Okay, your turn. Which way you got? Where'd you go with that guy first? Because you didn't flip
I haven't
these.
gone with...
No,
No, I didn't. I haven't gone with him. I haven't gone with those two or him.
Yeah, I went first. I've got 2.
What is that guy?
I think he's probably the
Marine
regular
warrior. Yeah. Right. So we're gonna go with a move.
Oh, damn, how far does he move? Oh, you're just pulling it out extra. It's like, holy shit.
Dash. And I'm gonna shoot him. 4 dice, 3+. On all the crits. Oh, they're all hits. Guess I'll take that.
All right.
So 3 damage at 3 apiece is 9.
He's dead.
Yes. I killed somebody.
God, this game is... I understand why the conceal orders and stuff exist now. I'm not going to lie, because if you decide to go do some shit, you're probably going to die. Holy. My turn?
Yeah. What, you got those 2 dudes?
Yeah. So this guy's got 4 on 2 ups. This guy's got 4 on 3 ups. Both identical otherwise. I guess we'll just sacrifice this guy to the blood god or whatever. And we're going to shoot 4 hits on 2 ups. With piercing crits 1. No crit, so you still get 3. So you you're what, 3-ups?
Yeah.
So I think that still works that way, even in shooting, I believe. I don't know if there's a way to really look at that in any sort of quick way.
What kind of damage does that thing do?
3, 4, so 6. 2 3s.
Hmm.
Yeah, this doesn't really say in terms of
If I say save nothing, you'll be 1 point away from dying. If I save the 1 damage, he'll be 2 points from dying.
so he's 1 point from dying.
1 point from dying.
Well, not gonna lie, that is inconvenient for me.
Why?
Because if you just die quicker, that's what, 3, 3. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. We'll just shoot you again. Because I can shoot twice. Older discipline. And then I'll have 1 action. Okay. I got 3, and that's piercing crits 1, so you get 2 defense dice. 2 defense dice.
Genius.
So 2 saves?
Yeah.
I don't guess it matters, does it?
He's gonna die regardless.
So. Okay, so he did, and then I guess we'll move, which is. First he moves 6, 3. 3, actually. Scooch 3 over there instead. Seems like a good idea. Your turn.
Over here to deal with these guys. So we will do. Here. And we'll do another 4 inches, 1 to finish the move, and then 3 for dash. Oh, he's on it. And then for my last action, I will just pick that objective up.
Yeah, I think control range is like an inch diameter kind of around your person. So as long as, like, if this was the objective, if you're like this,
Yeah.
it's probably close enough. We're in what round? We're still in round 2, aren't we?
About to be done, but yeah.
My turn. Who am I gonna go with? Yeah.
Sure.
Hmm. I love how you've fucked up all of my dudes. I don't think I've done anything to anybody else that's out still.
I mean, the 2 people that you were aiming for, you killed. 3 people, sorry.
Yeah, except all of my people are almost dead. Every one of them. Other than the heavy guy. He's the only one who's unscathed somehow. Okay, so we're going to have to... Nobody's waiting for him. Okay, so this is... So yeah, he's got a 6-inch move. I'm like there-ish. 2 to take that. Chicken. And I guess I've got 1 action. I don't guess it matters who I'm shooting at, to be fair. Shoot that guy.
He's the only guy you can see.
I could see this guy, but I think he'd probably get cover. which is why I want to shoot that guy instead. But I'd imagine they both have damn near the same health and everything else. So, given that I haven't done damage to either of them, I don't think it matters at all. 4 3-ups, 3/4 piercing crits 1.
The heck is that guy? That's the bombardier. That's what that is.
I got 1 whole hit, and it is not even a crit. So you get 3 defense dice. Sad. Yep. Nothing. Your turn.
Mm. 8 inches, move and a dodge.
Moving a dash.
Yeah.
What? He's got 5 inches?
Movement?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got an 8-inch range. I don't think I can manage that. No. But a foot.
A bunch of nothing then.
Like it.
So stay concealed, I guess.
I guess so.
Okay, so that's the end of what you call it. I've killed 3 guys. 3 guys.
Yep. And you got 2 points.
And
I've got 1.
okay. This work. The end of the game, and okay, well, I guess maybe that's the purpose of the 1 extra point. Is it's as much of a catch-up mechanic as it is a runaway mechanic, because if you like swing in the last round to 2 out of the 3, then you get an extra point on top of that. It might help you close that gap a little bit. Same thing with killing stuff. If you just have a really good last round, you know. Okay, so round 3 of 4. Flip all these.
I've only got 3 dudes left.
And initiative. Ooh. Ayo. Granted, I'm not really in a position to do anything with anybody that I can think of that I would want to do anything with.
That's retarded.
Got 4 inches.
The heavy gunner's ranged attack, the damage for a crit and a regular hit is the same.
Okay, I'm gonna move this guy to C. That could be interesting. Get a 4-inch move somewhere around here. I'll leave that there actually first. More curious if I could see this dude. How does cover work? As far as what benefits you get. Because this dude, even though you're concealed, you're not within an inch of the thing. So I shoot you from that guy because he has unlimited range. But he does have I think that might be more than an inch. A little over an inch and a half, so maybe it doesn't matter. If I even want to do that. Well, I could just shoot you. Because I've got a torrent attack. So I was going to maybe see about cleaving a little bit, but it's only an inch. But then I've got a focused attack that is a little bit better. I guess I'm just gonna shoot this dude here. So I'm gonna move. And shoot. Which I'm kind of surprised that that dude does not have a limited range, but he does not. So we've got 5 hitting on 3s, piercing crits 1. No crits. And a absolutely horrendous roll. So you got 1 whole hit to deal with. And you save it. So we'll go ahead and shoot again. Better. Okay, so he's got piercing crits, so you get 2 dice. Son of a bitch. So that's what? 5, 4 for 9?
Is that on the heavy?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah. 8.
8.
That's a nice little perk.
I wonder what that's exactly supposed to represent from like a lore perspective.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, what the hell did I reset this? Move to the heavy guy right here and shot this dude way over here.
Okay, well, I guess. What is that guy? That's the Marine Warrior. Do 2 shoot actions. So I guess I'm going to. Oh, you got the thing. I mean, I guess I don't. Whatever. I'm gonna dash out Midge. And then I'm going to shoot this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Threes, I assume. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Anything special?
No.
Okay. That is this guy. 3 ups. All the saves.
Okay, well, I'm gonna shoot you again.
Oh.
That's a little better.
Feel like that makes more sense.
Okay, well, 3 damage then.
I need to look that up, to be fair, because I could see how me doing that would make it worse for you, but the only time I've actually seen that phrased is talking about fighting, as far as like 2 crits, regular, and so on. I don't know how that applies to shooting. And I would imagine it still applies, but do you get to do damage with the 6 first? I don't know. So I'll have to look that up and figure that out. I also don't know if any of this stuff down here has anything to do with anything, because again, this is for like the tournament play stuff, so it's a more in-depth thing. What'd you say? 3 damage?
3 damage.
That is the 12. 12. 13. I have 2 dudes hanging on by a literal thread. Okay, so I guess that means I should go with this guy. And we'll shoot at this guy again. Yeah. And that is 4 on 3s. Sick. Okay. Let's try that again. Better. And then you get 2, because he's got piercing crits also. So, save the regular one, I guess. That's 4 damage.
Puts me at 12.
And Just ran away. It's your turn.
Okay. So I need. Best I can do is 8 inches. Straight out. Right here.
Well, the good thing about these things is you could just leave them, put it up against where you were, and you could do your test moves or whatever. And if you want to put him back, he'll go exactly where he was. You have these little things butted up against there. Thanks.
I could also just use this to measure. That's 8 inches.
Put a move dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 inches, like right.
And
Your
then-
base would stop like right there. You gotta hit those dudes.
Grenades.
Well, I guess you could go over here.
I was thinking about grenades.
I think the grenades they're not like flashpoint or whatever. I think they're still just regular attacks. They just have their own profile.
Go ahead and put him. And then I'm going to shoot that guy.
Do you have a grenade like under his little thingy?
He's got 2 grenades.
No.
A blight grenade and a crack grenade. But they're 6-inch ranges.
What's up, Annie?
And I mean, that's from base to base, that's 6 inches.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot him first.
But then you move dash.
Yeah, but he's got Bombardier. Operative can perform 2 shoot actions.
What's the grenade symbol?
Shoot.
Like bullets or whatever?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
So I'm going to shoot him first. So that's 4. Looking for 3 ups. Okay.
Heavy guy. He's got 3 up save. I guess we'll just.
So that is 4 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna throw a crack grenade at the same guy. Actually, before I no, I can't. Inch off. Dang.
I don't even think that has a little 1-inch portion on it.
Yeah. Okay, so crack grenade on that guy. Piercing 1 and saturate. 4 dice, 3 up.
So I'll have 2 dice, and defender can't retain cover saves. Fine.
Ooh.
We'll say your rolls have been significantly better than mine. I'm just putting that out there. Sick.
So that is 14 damage.
Which is exactly enough to kill him. He's got 18.
Right. Now I got another victory. Where the is the 4? God bless.
Oh, wait a minute. You moved dash shot. You didn't have an APL for the second attack.
How? There's 3.
You moved dash shot.
But the 2 shoot actions.
It still costs.
I thought that was like a.
No. That's why I was talking about with this guy. I had to spend 2 to shoot. I only had 1 more to move with this 3. I'm still alive, motherfucker.
Then put him back on there.
I didn't even think about that when I was like, oh, you moved dash shot. You're like, yeah, I've got 2 shoot actions. I was like, all right, whatever.
I figured it was part of the same attack action.
No, I was actually watching something and they made a phrase which I can't remember. It said, I'm not even gonna try to fucking remember what the dude said. But no, you're still confined to the bounds of your currency, but you can shoot twice. Like one of my guys earlier I went with, I could shoot twice, but I had to move dash to shoot at you the first time.
Well, that's why I asked before it did it.
Well, to be fair, the
But
question
now,
I
how you
asked was,
determine damage? You just take off the last one.
yeah, you did what, 10?
If I'd
14?
known that, I would have thrown the grenade first.
Well, to be fair, I guess the other one probably could have been just as good of a hit. You just rolled worse the first time. Hindsight and all. She went first. So I've got my 2. You gone with one guy?
I've only got one guy left.
Wait, you've gone with one guy.
2.
Who the fuck did I go with? Oh, I went with that guy. And this guy. Okay. No, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Because I put this guy is not gone. No, that was last. Like, because I've only gone with 2 dudes, because you've gone with 2 dudes, because I went first. So. Regular warrior and sergeant. Could be funny. Um, 1, 4. Move up and over. Get like maybe right there. Sentence for this dude because he's only got 1 health. Oh wait, no, this guy's fine. I'm gonna shoot you 4 on 2s. Three regular hits. And it saves all of it, right?
Yeah.
And I guess might as well use my last point and shoot you again. 4 on 2s. That's better. And now you only get 2 dice because a piercing crit's 1. That's like a bunch.
Probably did.
3, 4. 9, 12. 3, 6, 9 plus 4, 13. I don't know if you're gonna attack that dude yet.
No.
I have to use D6 to count. And that's all my actions. Dude's got Can you shoot twice?
No. I guess I'll just bump up then.
Move dash.
Yeah.
And shoot.
3 inches.
Something like that.
Okay. He attacks with 5. Saturate, severe, and torrent.
Torrent, saturate, defender can't retain cover save, so it's like a grenade mortar thingy, I guess. And severe, so just severe. So if you get no crits, you get a crit, I guess. Looks like no crits, so one of your regulars gets upgraded to a crit. That's a lot of damage. That's my sergeant looking for 3s. Heyo. That you get nothing. Lucky. So I've got one more dude. Kind of want to run through that door over there. Although I think it cost an inch to move through a door. So I wouldn't be able to through that door unless I dashed, and that's fun. Warrior guy. Torrent 1. Ooh, fun. We're gonna move over here. And so those dudes are close, I can actually do his little spread thing. He's got 4 on 3 ups, which select primary and any valid targets an X from primary and do shoot against them. So it's just 2 separate shoot actions, I guess. Although that's a question. Is he has 2 shoots, so I can move. Technically, I could spend both my extra things as shoot, but then with Torrent, does that mean it's 2 shoots on both of them? I think it's just picking the primary targets. Technically, I'm just shooting like the same dude twice, but 3s, and no piercing crit, so you got 3. That's what, 7 on Bombardier. And then the torrent attack on that guy. Two, and you get. Oh wait, he doesn't have piercing crits. I'll say both of those anyways. And then I guess his actual last action is shooting that dude. So 1 goes through for 3 whole. Really? Oh, he was the one who got shot by the heavy guy, I guess. So. Guess that is round 3. Into round 4. Ooh. That's okay. Last round. 5. I think you think you were right. You used up all your luck in that first round.
Yep.
Oh, have I even shot this? Have I done anything to this dude?
No, the couple times he's been shot at, I saved it.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just start with this dude. Missing one.
Piercing crit or no?
No. So is that? Is there any better way to do that? Technically, you could save the 2 regulars, which would save 6. So a crit is 4, a regular is 3. So do you
I
want to
would
save
probably
the?
save the 2 regulars then.
Okay, so you take 4, and then this just does nothing.
3.
Shoot you again. Two whole hits on you. And we're just gonna
Saved.
run. Your turn. Might not have been a smart move.
Okay, regular move. Capture that, and I'm going to shoot him.
So I was saying that might not have been a smart move because I realized I don't have anybody else in control range of that.
4.
Hold on. No, he's a good target. Because you might have a better option there, but he's only got one health.
2 regular hits.
Ooh, one goes, well, I don't know how that works, actually. Would that be all 3 of them?
Like it.
You shoot me again?
No, because I claimed.
Oh, yeah, true. Go with this fella. Funny to me that this dude has a grenade, but he does not have a grenade on his thing. That is piercing crits 1 on 3 hits. That's
1. So you got a crit and a regular hit through.
for 7. And then spend another one for 2 regular hits. Boo! Saved him. Okay. And I don't think he's going anywhere. So now, because you don't have any people left, you can spend 1 action point. And I guess because that's the only dude you have left, you'll just keep counteracting. It just says perform any 1 AP action, move limit 2 inches. Only if no ready operatives. I don't know if counteract affects every single thing or what, but
Guess I'm just going to shoot him. I doubt I can get enough damage through to keep him from going, but
you
rolling
need
all crits.
You need 14 damage.
How many action points do I have?
1. And you can only move 2 inches, so you're basically just last standing, essentially. I think you'd be better off trying to kill something, because the odds of you getting 14 damage in on that dude seems slim.
I'd have to roll all crits.
And you've got what? 5 health left?
Yeah.
Because this guy's got 1 health. This guy's got 1 health, but he's kind of in cover.
I guess I'll just shoot him again. I don't think it really matters at this point. I can't win. 1 crit. 2 hits.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently this dude needs to buy the lottery ticket. Don't die. Well, you know what? Actually, this might be more interesting. Dude was here-ish. Definitely a worse decision for me to do this, but I think I can charge over here. And punch you with my fists. Wait, that's terrible. Why would I do that? It's the exact same roll, the same damage stats and everything, except I hit on 3s instead of 2s.
And I can counterattack.
I'll just give you the chance to shoot me if you live.
Probably won't.
Looking for 2s. That's a lot.
And only get 2 dice.
Yes.
So he's dead.
But you saved 1.
Thank God for that.
You only take 10 damage.
He's dead.
He's dead. And it specifies to play this out as normal, which, I mean, to be fair, the only that I would do is move and capture, I guess. The last dude to go. Yeah, it definitely seems... Can you punch people to death in this game? Justin seems to be the best at that. To be fair, yeah, you actually kicked my ass when we were in melee combat, but they definitely have the edge in the shooting, I guess. Although, you have decent shooting, I just happen to get good rolls when you got good rolls. Because I think even the fights that I initiated, we...
All of my good rolls were in the first 2 rounds. After that, I had nothing.
It's only 4 rounds.
Exactly. So at the end, when we actually had people positioned where they needed to be, my rolls were hit.
I do think, because there's... So part of... And this, I think, is probably where we would go with this. Is you get faction equipment. So, like, for the Angels of Death, you've got chapter tactics that change some stuff to all of your people. You've got faction equipment, which is like specific tailored stuff. So, like, I could have the purity seals, which do something when shooting to kind of make like a safeguard, I guess. But you also have like the equipment, so you could get ladders and razor wire and stuff. So you pick the way that it works in the like matched play is you would have 4 equipment. You can pick 4 equipment, so you've got like the universal equipment like ladders and explosives or grenades. And you've got the faction equipment, and you can get 4 of those to kind of list build, if you will, to kind of add some extra stuff. Whereas with this, we were just playing what was here. So, like, you could get a ladder and plop a ladder up right here and pop up here and shoot on my concealed people, even if they were in cover because you're high enough up or whatever. So there's more, I guess, play that we can add. I just wanted to play the most basic form that we could come up with, because I've had a hard time of trying to figure it out. I think because this has some alternate, maybe this is kind of what I was looking at, and I figured we'd just, I don't know. But there's a couple different layouts. Granted, it's using this terrain, which it came with, but I figured this had a little bit more variety because there's not a whole lot of that. And then there's alternate ops that you can add, which is what I was talking about the other day. So instead of it just being captured and held, you have to like stay there and transmit off of it to score, or you could just pick them up and loot them, and it's primarily a kill game. So once you swing by and pick it up, you don't have to ever worry about it. But there are more rules and stuff in the actual Kill Team book. It's a big hardcover book. And that's where like the co-op missions and stuff are. Which I think, from what I understand, basically the co-op joint op stuff. Actually, that's what we're talking about currently. Is it's definitely not as robust of like an AI system that as like Call to Arms has. There is like an attack or like a threat matrix, but for the most part, I think it's like you're either a marksman or a brawler, and there's some choice in kind of how they do stuff. You're essentially playing against yourself, but with like some rough guidelines, I guess. It's not as in-depth as like Call to Arms when it comes to the solo thing. And specifically, you're choosing who you want to activate on the enemy team. And basically, they just say to always make the choice that's worse for you. So if you know you're going to want to go with this guy because he needs to before he dies, activate the guy, then try to kill that guy. Versus like Call to Arms where it's kind of random who activates. But we could also just implement a system to do that, to randomly pick who goes. That's not that big of a deal. So there is a kind of a co-op AI system, but we need the full rule book to actually figure that out because they don't offer it as a PDF or anything.
Where do you get it?
It's on Amazon.
How much?
Like $51 now. And this is what I thought we needed. This is part of, I guess, the approved op stuff, but I didn't know that at the time. So it's all sorts of different like little mission types and stuff, but I don't understand this flow of game at all. But that's like tournament play stuff, I think. This is actually the solo co-op reference sheet. So there's like different kind of archetypes, I guess. And then they have action priorities for like the brawlers and the marksmen. So there's some, and actually this has some of the missions at the bottom. Mission breach, select non-player operatives with 90 wounds. So you have freedom over kind of what the enemy forces are. 90 wounds, 77 wounds. So you kind of, like if you want to fight a handful of elite guys, or if you want to fight a bunch of little dudes with a couple wounds, you have probably actually a lot of freedom with how you could do the solo co-op stuff. I've seen a good amount of positive stuff talking about the solo co-op stuff, so there's certainly an option, but we got what we got for right now. And on the show this. Not that I hold the other way. Son of a. Okay, well.
It all folds in.
I'm not gonna mess with that. Basically, the backside of it's like an orange desert kind of aesthetic. But next time, maybe we do we either play opposite forces, or if you want to try to run the same forces and just try the other people that we didn't use. Either way, but I am kind of curious as to what some of the other kill teams and stuff are, because the Warhammer stuff is just so cool. I added little chains on
Your legs always remind me of Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Yeah, I added the chains that are on these dudes. That's like little jewelry chain that I put on them just to add extra something. I will say the fighting seems incredibly volatile, but I do like the like attack, defend, parry style, because it feels more like actual melee combat, which is kind of neat. The whole like decide whether you're going to deal damage or play it safe. I do feel like people who are good at math would probably be better off with that mechanic, because I can't run like if you block this and take this and how much damage, like how to get the most value out of it quickly.
The only way you'd know that is if you had some sort of cheat card that told you the damages on the different, weapons, and you just knew.
Well, I think that's part of it, is you like know, okay, I know this guy's probably got like a 3-4 profile, and knowing what combination of stuff to defend with and attack with to like get the best value out of it. I don't guess there's really any way to figure that out.
Well, that's my point. Unless you know all of the profiles for the different characters, you're not going to be able to math it, even if you could.
And it would take forever. But I think, honestly, that's probably my favorite aspect of this. I do like that there aren't a ton of keywords across most of this stuff. And, I mean, to be fair, if these are all the keywords, as much of this is kind of confusing on this list, like that's not that big of a deal. Whereas like with Legion, you've got like pages and pages and pages of keywords. And I'd imagine big 40K, you've also got a ton of keywords. Like this is not a whole lot of stuff to figure out, which is nice. The conceal and gauge order stuff is kind of interesting. I get why you would probably want to put your guys into conceal sooner. And I guess you could put your guy back in conceal after they come out. You just decide at the start of each activation. So if they come out and shoot and get absolutely obliterated, I guess you could put them back in conceal and take them like somewhere else to get a vantage point or something and be a little bit safer doing it.
Actually, if I've been paying attention, the counteract perform any one AP action move, the only thing I couldn't have done is fall back, which means I could have charged.
Yeah, but then you can't attack.
That's dumb.
It seems like it's literally just like last stand.
There's literally no point.
I mean, not entirely. Because let's just say I had really bad rolls and you had really good rolls, and you killed the couple weak people I had on your couple counteracts before he died. I think it would have actually made it. No, I might have still had one extra dude. But that's, I guess, where this stuff comes into play. But I guess
that's my point, is when that comes into play, odds are the other person's already controlling the battlefield. So let's just say in that instance, I had all the good rolls and you didn't. You already had 9 points. I had 4. Which means that if I had killed all 3 of those people, it wouldn't have been enough. It wouldn't have changed the battle at all.
Well, that's also just how it played out in this one game, because if you have no ready people, if I have 4 and you have 3, and I go with my last guy, or I guess you'd have to go first in that setting. Whatever. It just happened to play out where when this rule came into effect, there was only one guy left because you lost a bunch of people at once. But if it happens earlier, maybe you get to go twice with like your champion dude. And you could, this I think is more interesting than not having anything at all.
Yeah.
Because at least this has potential to make it where you could still make a difference after you've gone with all your people. And in some cases, double activate with a really powerful person. Like if it was reversed and I had like the heavy guy and you had a cluster of people and I got to just shoot, but he has torrent, so he's shooting all of them. And he could potentially do a whole lot of damage, even though it's just one action as a counteract because your guys are clustered or something. So this, I think, you'd probably see more interesting scenarios play out with counteract across games.
I also read it as no operative, not no ready operative. So I didn't consider if you've already gone with, all your people, how do you choose which one reacts?
I think you just get to pick. Just perform one AP action. I think that's the point, is if you're to the point where you don't have Games Workshop Warhammer 40K Kill Team Core Book. Yeah, that sounds right. 2024 3rd edition. But I think that's kind of the whole point, is making it where you have a proper reaction to something, and you don't just get to sit there and watch all your people get obliterated depending on the pacing. In that case, I think it would have taken into effect round 3, but I went last with my last dude, and I don't think counteract would take into account at that point.
Um,
And the terrain I need to figure out. There was something else I said while we were playing that I needed to figure out.
defending against shooting.
Yes. There's also command points, and I don't know if that's just because we had a tiny little bit of that in the Age of Sigmar little starter box that we played.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure what you do with command points. But I think you get 2 command points. That's something that I can't find. They don't even reference command points in this starter book, I don't think. So I don't know if that's another like core rules thing. Because I thought you could spend.
There's something on here though. Match play sequence. Command points get 2 CP.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not. Maybe command points are only for the like tournament play type of stuff.
It's a shame that I couldn't get any victory points for damage.
What do you mean? Oh, just doing damage. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I played it relatively safe once my people started dying. I was just hiding and huddling in a corner. Because had I left him out on that point, you probably would have killed 1 or 2 more people.
That's the thing is, I shot at wounded people like 3 or 4 times, but you just saved it.
Yeah, I got really lucky on the saves on the latter half of that match, that's for sure. I took the brunt of it all early, and then it was like, uh-oh, for the rest of the game. But thankfully, the Emperor watches over or whatever. So that's good. I never painted this dude's little hand pad thing. Whatever. Okay. That. I think that is. I like this better than Sigmar when we played that, but to be fair, that was like a smaller version of like the big like war game that we played. Whereas this is designed to be a small game, and we both have a full team to play with, which would probably make sense as to why this felt better than that did. But I am kind of curious about more of it, I will say. I think that was kind of fun. At first, I was kind of curious because of how small of an area it is. And it's like, I feel like we were all just staring at each other immediately. But that could also be fixed with just different terrain layouts. And maybe having a big open lane kind of down the middle should be avoided. Or maybe it just needs to build the terrain out based on the... That's the other thing is with the Volkis kill zone, it's like built terrain, but it comes with mission sets with terrain layouts to use based on the official terrain. So it's like play-tested setups that you could use, whereas this, I just made this up. So there might be a better way to play that, but we can cross that down the road.
It might help.
Yeah, I bought some terrain that I was going to print, but I think my printers are kaput. I cannot get them to function anymore, the 3D printers to print, because it was like Gothic ruins like this.
I mean, at this point, you've been using them for 6 years and almost daily, so I would say you got your money's worth.
Yeah. And that is all of, I mean, I've got some more of these like little half walls, but this is all of this type of like cathedral terrain that I have for ruins. Battle systems, which is what this is, they do sell a Gothic type of thing that feels like it's probably supposed to be Warhammer-y inspired. So maybe we could look at that at some point.
Well, another thing too is this from the call to arms stuff. I mean, like that one mission where you're walking through the cemetery, all of it's like this laid stone look. So I mean, some of that might work too.
Yeah, I was just kind of perusing the battle system stuff to see what they'd have, since I can't easily print terrain now. And they've got some, I think, some decent options. They've got like a Gothic cemetery that has like the black iron fences, and so there's options. But I think this is going to benefit more from having elevation and closed off rooms, especially because of the way doors work. Having a completely closed off room from being shot until you go into the room and then it's fighting or shooting or whatever inside the room, I think would probably make things more interesting also. And I know the Volkis terrain does have literally closed off walled rooms like that, so that could be something. But this is just the quickest, easiest stuff that I kind of had to work with, considering most of this stuff is Star Wars-y. I mean, does like the medieval stuff work? To be fair, Warhammer's kind of all encompassing when it comes to settings, it would seem, but I think it needs to be more like
I think it's a little too bright.
gothic and whatever.
Dark.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find some Roman Legion era stuff.
I need another shelf for terrain. But either way, I'm intrigued. Whereas like the Age of Sigmar stuff we played it was like whatever. I guess I mean it's all right, but this actually seems like something we could play, especially the like the co-op scenarios. I think there's a Space Marine Titus type of narrative thing that you could do. I don't know, but so there's stuff to look into down the road, but that'll come then. So that's gonna do it for this. I don't know exactly what the plan is going forward, but we'll see you when we see you. All right, appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you.
The power of the dark side.